The United States today is divided at uncomfortable levels. Throughout the duration of my life, which has been less than 30 years, I have witnessed a complete shift in the values, the culture, and the ideology that has made this country so desirable for people from all across the globe, pretty much since its inception. A shift that is so powerful, even I fell victim to it at some point. What I ask of you today is that you watch this video in its entirety so you can hear all the points I have to make. And at the end, for you to leave a comment letting me know if you either agree or disagree with anything I have to say. And with that being said, let's have a simple discussion about this and let's get into the video. Hello, welcome back to Remy Does It. This video is being made on impulse today because I'm a little upset at the moment. Two reasons. First is the reason I started making this video, and that's what made me upset. The second reason is this is the fourth time I'm trying to record this, but my phone keeps ringing, and half the time it's about bullshit. So let's try this again. I am a little upset today because I had to have a phone call with my family member just now. I went out of my way to speak to them, I'm very unfortunate because every time I try to speak to this person, I already have to brace myself mentally because I know I'm going to get irritated and frustrated talking to them. But I go out of my way to do it, and they rarely do it for me, which that's another story. But you know, you have to be the bigger person sometimes. So I try to check up on them, see how they're doing. And immediately, like every single time I try to talk to this person, it's like torture for myself because they are so negative. Every single time the phone call starts out, like it's not even 30 seconds in the call, and I have to listen to this person complaining about their job and their schedule and this and that, and it's always someone else's issue. It's always someone else's issue of why they have something bad going on in their life. And that's kind of what this video is going to be about, because somehow this conversation shifted into talking about entitlement. What's very frustrating is that there's people out there that believe they're entitled to almost everything on the planet. And not only are they entitled to these things, they feel like they're so entitled mentally that they don't have to listen to you disagree with anything that they have to say. They are entitled to speak their opinion, but they don't feel like you are entitled to be able to speak yours back. So they can say everything they want to say, but they don't have to listen. And to me, that's just so frustrating. So this person that I'm related to, they decide to go down this whole rabbit hole talking about how nothing is fair, and he believes that we should live in a world where, you know, I should be able to go outside and pick an apple off a tree, or maybe like there used to be marijuana growing next to railroad tracks and all this stuff, and now we have to pay for these things that should be natural, and they're trying to kill off all the natural things so that way you have to pay for whatever. First off, if you live your life and you believe constantly that there are people out there that have an agenda against you, and everything is this big, massive plan about people targeting you and making things more difficult for you, you're going to have a very miserable life. I'm not naive. I know that there are things that go on in this world that are, you know, pretty corrupt. And there are people out there that do take advantage of others for their own profit. That's just being a realist. I understand that. But not every single thing has to be a conspiracy. So when I'm talking to you and you're telling me you think it's fucked up that the only way for you to get an apple, the only way for you to eat an apple is to go to the grocery store and buy one. First off, that's bullshit. That's fucking stupid. You can grow your own apples if you really care about it that much. But second, it's just the entitlement of believing that because you exist, that all these things that we enjoy as luxuries in our life should be entitled to you. What makes you think that just because you have to pay for this or pay for that you would have access to it anyway if it wasn't the case? If you couldn't go to the store and buy apples, what makes you believe that you would have apples around you anyway, that you would be entitled to? If you weren't buying them at the store, let's say those type of things, you know, all the fruits and vegetables and things that grow out of the earth naturally, what makes you believe that you would have access to that stuff anyway? Because if they weren't being sold in the store and all those things are just natural and just all around the planet, do you know how much competition there would be for those? So what makes you think that you'll be getting it over somebody else? That wouldn't be fair, would it? So to me, it's just bullshit to sit here and complain about the world and all these things that it's not fair and we need everything to be equal and we all deserve this. It's such a bullshit way of viewing the world. It's just not reality. It's not how fucking things work. And furthermore, you're completely ignoring the other aspect of the society that we live in. Those apples that you enjoy, these things that you say are natural and you shouldn't have to pay for them because of the fact that they're natural, things that grow naturally grow in certain amounts. But when you have people that farm for these resources, they farm these resources, whatever it is, that is a person that's putting in labor. They're putting in their labor, they're putting in their effort, they're putting in their money, they're putting in their time, they're putting all these things into it so that you can enjoy it in abundance. In abundance. So it does not matter what it is. And if it's natural, if it's a certain fruit that you like, certain vegetable that you like, or maybe a certain brand of water that you like, whatever, all these things, there are people that put effort into it. There are people that put money and effort into these things so you can enjoy them in abundance. And the fact that you complain about it just shows how privileged you are, because the fact that in America, we are so privileged that the things that we think should be essentials in life are things that people in other places around this planet would fucking kill for. You can walk into your store and you're complaining that there's a fucking shelf this big full of apples or bananas, and you have to spend some money to get it. That is a privilege in its own. You drove to the store. You put gasoline in your vehicle and you drove your ass to the store. And then you get a nice convenient little bag to put all your stuff in, and then you go back in your car and you drive to your house or apartment that you live in. There's not water leaking on your fucking head. And then once you do that and you get home and you eat and you go to the bathroom and you use your toilet, that flushes. So that shit that's in your toilet doesn't stay in your fucking house. Like we're talking about entitlement. Oh, I'm entitled to this, I'm entitled to that. You are already privileged. And now you're asking for entitlement. Entitlement is the reason why economies start to fail. It is the reason economies start to fail, because entitlement is expensive. When people are entitled to healthcare, people are entitled to housing, people are entitled to food, and all of these amenities of life, it costs money. And the reality is, people believe that their tax dollars, they work and their tax dollars pay for this shit. The reality is that's not the case. The reality is a majority of that money that pays for all this stuff is created. It's created out of nothing, and then it causes inflation. So if I complain that, hey, rent is too expensive. Rent's too expensive, we need rental assistance. Well, guess what's gonna happen? If I get rental assistance and now my life seems a little better, I'm living a little more comfortably, it's just an illusion that you're living more comfortably, because now the money that you do have that you're saving is worth less. So you're still paying for it in the end. And we believe these narratives that have been taught to us, and we have so much conviction behind it, but yet we're so uneducated on what all this really means. Like, don't talk to me about entitlement when you already live a privileged life. The thing about privilege that's so bad is that when you're the most privileged country on the planet, you start looking for other reasons of why you have it bad. You start looking for outside reasons on why things are not fair for you, when in reality is that the majority of people on the world wish they had what you had. And that is why America, for the longest, maybe not in recent years, but basically since the United States of America existed, people would want to come to America to live the American dream. That stands for something, right? They're not coming here to have a worse life, are they? What differences did people have in their lives? And the comparison to the place that they came from to the United States of America, to make them want to leave their home, leave everything that they're comfortable with, leave all the cultures that they grew up in, to come to some place that's completely new and foreign to them, and sometimes with almost no money in their pocket. What would drive somebody to do that? So it's really painful and annoying to constantly have to listen to people that were born in this country, whether or not they're rich or middle class or not, but people that were born in this country complaining about unfairness when this is literally the best place you could possibly be born. People fucking spend their life savings to come here. And to be born here and then complain about it, it's just crazy to me. You're so privileged and you don't even realize it. Being born here is a privilege. It's just very frustrating. It's very frustrating. And if you're going to be such an entitled person, at the very least, be an adult and be able to have a conversation. Speak your opinion, go ahead. But you better fucking listen to other people speak their opinion, whether they disagree with you or not. If you're gonna be that privileged, at the very least, if you think you're so entitled that you can push your opinion on everybody else, you can push your beliefs on everybody else, but you don't think that anyone else is entitled or has a privilege to be able to speak their opinion that disagrees with you. It's fucking nuts. It's just absolutely fucking nuts. Could not even have a conversation with him. Every single time I try to talk, he just talks right over me. And at one point, I even said, you know what? I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna completely stop talking and I'm gonna listen to you. So go ahead and talk, completely unfiltered. I'm gonna listen to every single word you say. I won't speak. And guess what? He sat there and fucking talked to me for 5 fucking minutes and I had to sit there and listen to the bullshit. Well, I still listened. And when he was done, he asked me a question. I stayed silent. Because I didn't even know if he was asking a question or a rhetorical question. So I stayed silent. He's like, and he asked again. I'm like, wait, so you asking me the question now? He said, yeah. I'm like, all right, well, are you gonna let me speak now? Is it my turn to speak? Uninterrupted. He's like, it's not about uninterrupted. It's not about being uninterrupted. I'm like, no, you're not going to fucking talk over me. I sat there for 5 minutes and I listened to you fucking push your beliefs. You're gonna listen to me speak. No. That's not even about that. Like, bro, I don't understand why you're talking to me like this. Like, it's crazy. I'm gonna end the video here because I actually have to get going soon. So if you enjoyed this, make sure to like and subscribe. I hope your day is going well, and I hope you didn't have to deal with any annoying bullshit today. Thank you for your time. I'll catch you in the next video. Goodbye.